only Mrs. Bennet would tell us something of Miss Bingley. Think of the information we may gain. It would not do to go to the ball without knowing something of her nature.
But Papa, Lord Lucas did tell us she was highly favorable. Young and lovely
and extremely agreeable.
Lord Lucas saw nothing of her. All of his accounts come from Lady Lucas, so who can know how genuine his praise may be?
I do believe Lord and Lady Lucas would give a most honest opinion.
You would do best to hope not. If what he did tell us is true, Miss Bingley will be bringing a large party to the next assembly. 12 gentlemen and 7 ladies.
12 gentlemen, but only 7 ladies? How will I ever see one of my sons settled at Netherfield?
But Papa, with 7 ladies, perhaps we may look forward to settling with one of them.
The boys grieved over such a number of gentlemen, but were soon comforted once they heard that Miss Bingley had brought not 12, but 2, and those 2 were her brothers besides. The party was accompanied by the wife of the eldest brother, and another young woman not known to the Bennet brothers.
Miss Bingley is so beautiful and ladylike, with a pleasant countenance, easy, happy manners.
Her brothers are fine men, and her sister-in-law seems to be quite the lady. As for the other girl...
She has such a tall, fine frame, and a noble mien.
Yes, I hear she has 10,000 a year. You boys must aim high, you know.
Miss Darcy was looked upon with great admiration for a full half of the evening, until her manners gave a disgust that turned the tide of the popularity, for she was discovered to be proud and believed herself near entirely above her company.
Come now, Darcy, you must dance. Hate to see you standing about by yourself in such a standoffish manner.
I certainly shall not. You know how I detest it unless I am particularly friendly with my partner. And at such an event, it would be insupportable. Your brothers are previously engaged, and such there is not a man in the room that would not be punishment to stand up.
Why must this be so fastidious as you make it? Never before in my life have I met so many pleasant young men as this evening. Many of them uncommonly pretty, as you can see.
You are dancing with the only handsome man in the room.
Oh, he's so gorgeous. He's such a gorgeous creature, isn't he? But, well, his brother is seated right over there, and who has looks I would not hesitate to compliment. I'm sure my partner could introduce you.
Which do you mean? He is tolerable, but not handsome enough to tempt me, and I am in no humor at the moment to give consequence to young men who are slighted by other women. You had better return to your own partner and enjoy his smiles. You are wasting your time with me.
The ball continued on very nicely, with most of the women retreating to play cards, leaving a few men to continue dancing or talking amongst themselves.
What's a full house? Oh my dear! James was so well received at the ball. Everybody commented on how handsome he was, and even Miss Bingley deigned to dance with him a second time. No other creature in the room was given this special opportunity, and I quite like Miss Bingley. She's excessively handsome, and her brothers are quite charming too. Never have I ever seen such fancy suits. The lace on Mr. Hurst's collar.
Oh, have some compassion. Speak no more of clothing.
Then we must talk about the infamous Miss Darcy. Ugh, what horrid manners, and for such a woman of happy countenance. I quite detest her.
Are we speaking of the infamous Miss Darcy?
Mamma, you would not have found her at all attractive. She danced but 4 times in the whole of the night.
Christopher and I danced every one, Mamma.
Your father and brothers talking of Miss Darcy and dancing is quite tiresome. I do believe that some good sense and reason is in order.
Well, you will not find any sense in talking more of Miss Darcy. Even James cannot deny her excessive pride.
I cannot think of a single woman in England who would not wish to dance. What a horrid lady.
Oh, if only Mrs. Bennet would tell us something of Miss Bingley. Think of the information we would gain.
Come now, Darcy. I must have you. You must dance. I hate.
And I said she's actually quite
No, stand this way so we're both standing to the camera, like this side.
Yeah.
And now
Jane is dedicated only to me. Dance.